there's a whole new way now of monitoring your home when you're not there. And it's actually using the internet and using what they call the Internet of Things. This is where you have feedback loops of all kinds of things in your home. So I mean, these traditional home security systems that charge you either a couple $100 to install it, and then they get you $40-50 a month for the rest of your life and contracts, and you wind up charging thousands of dollars before you finish it. This thing is like $250 one time, but it does even so many things, and it's in development now, so that's why you can get a real bargain on it. But more importantly, I think it's learning what's available out there now by using technology, the feedback loops. This gets smart. In your house, it could look like just a wall clock, because it's really it looks like an iPad, and you set it up in your house, and you can operate it remotely, talk to your dog remotely, or anything you want, and actually see what you're able to do in this system, and the technology is there. Somebody comes to the door and it's locked, you can unlock it through that system. See, there's so many other things that are going to be available now through this Internet of Things. Well, everything will be communicated, on an app, your iPhone, and through the internet. Then it could do that. So there'll be little sensors in your lock, little sensors everywhere to turn things on. You want to, raise the temperature of the room, lower the temperature. You're not going to be home for a long time, so you might as well, shut the temperature down more and things like this. So there's so many things to control your life, and when we start doing that, we'll be more efficient society. So we'll lose less heat, and we'll be more energy efficient that way, because we'll be able to control it, by our iPhone or whatever, any kind of phone, and set it. And plus, it has a memory to, hey, this house is empty, from 5 o'clock till 10 o'clock every night. So it'll automatically adjust. You program it and things like this. So that's why, things that I think you should investigate and be aware of, just to realize what's coming down the pike, or whatever you call it, depending on how old you are. We all call it different things. But what's going to be happening in our near future? The technology is there, and it's just how convenient it does. And all these old systems that charge so much money, this is all cheaper because the infrastructure is there. So it's going to be a fraction of the cost to do a heck of a lot more. So watch this and start learning about all that. Well, Wendy T, and with Century with an I, just like Chi with an I, but it's Century, SENTRI.me. And
Yes.
you guys have developed probably the smartest goddamn thing every house needs, and you're going to make your house a genius, and for like the lowest price I think I've ever seen in my life. People on the market selling the same thing that you're selling, like for $250. They're selling it for thousands of dollars. Yours is nicer. Yours is more elegant. It does more stuff, and I can run everything from my app. Right?
Yep, basically that's it. That's kind of like a great pitch right there.
But what are the features? I see it controls, I could be anywhere in the world and control my temperature, right, of the house and stuff like that. And I could see what my dog's doing, right, on my app, in your house. And what else? What else is cool about this?
Yeah, so in addition to kind of like having a camera and motion detector that will you can like see basically what's happening in your home, it also has sensors that tracks your home's temperature, humidity, and like air quality levels. Because security isn't just kind of like about like people coming in or going out unexpectedly, but it's also about kind of like the physical state of your home. So if you see like a sudden uptick in temperature, that could indicate like a starting fire.
Yeah.
So you may want to check in and see like if everything's okay, and like basically be able to call somebody before the fire.
But not only that, to me, if it gets too hot, man, your plants are going to die. You're away for the day or something, and it's too hot for that, or your artwork starts curling on the edges or something like that. All these things could happen with the humidity and temperature and something. So I can control that now, with a Sentry from your app, right? Anywhere in the world. You don't have to call a neighbor and tell them to check it out or something.
Yeah, so I mean, like if you own like any other smart devices, so like
Uh-huh.
for example, we're moving towards a world where basically you can close your blinds remotely, you can
Yeah.
turn on, turn off your light remotely, you don't have to be home for that, you can lock, unlock your door, you can control it all from kind of like one central app instead of having to go to
Hmm.
multiple apps to do it.
Well, that's what I think is great about your product. You're really teaching us not only the environment of the home, but the other kinds of things like the lock, kind of thing. I mean, because we should. I mean, that would be great. I mean, just think, the kid gets home and he can't get in or something like that. And I could, or somebody, I could say, hey, why don't you go to my house? Oh, geez, I don't have a key. Don't worry. Give me a call when you get to the front door and bloop. I let you in. I mean, and that's not a whole big sum of money to do nowadays either, is it?
Yeah, no. I mean, like, I think that other products are on the market kind
Uh-huh.
of for similar prices. So, like, you can get like a smart lock now for like
Yeah.
$200.
Yeah. I mean,
But like
that's.
ours is really kind of meant to be kind of like if you already own several of them or this is
Uh-huh.
your first one, it's a great introduction to basically a smart home and what you can know from your home.
Well, no,
So
that's what I
it's
think about your Sentry. Is just it's for us at a very reasonable price to start to get to know what is going to happen. Not only in your home but in the future. This is how we're going to live in the future. I mean, we're all going to have this. And so you might as well get on the ground floor now and start learning how to best use this kind of tool because that's what it is. It's going to save you money, whether it's on your air conditioning, and yours gets smart as it gets longer, right? As you use it longer. How do how does that work?
own it, the longer, like it basically learns your habits. So
Oops.
basically, if it knows that like you aren't really home at like noon every day, like it'll like make sure to alert you of certain things. And then it knows when you come
Ah,
home too. So because it kind of connects
wow.
on your Wi-Fi network, so you can kind of see like, oh, so today Matthew came home at like 2 p.m. Those are things that you can program and teach it, and over time it'll learn as well. And so
Wow.
it can adjust kind of its behavior according to like your own personal habits. So it's not like you're just buying a random product off the shelf.
Oh.
It's something that like becomes your own over time too.
But no, I mean, it's sort of like to me, I think, well, oh, it knows to compensate for my swing if I have a real fast golf swing. Yeah, that's what you need an app for. But this is what this does: is compensates for what your habits are around the house. So you're never in this room. So this room, could be a lot cooler because nobody's there all the time, right? And you're going to save a bunch of money, to do that. Because it seems like all these sensors are really, it seems, I mean, is the term what they use, the Internet of Everything or something like that?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
called an Internet of Things right now.
yeah,
So there's kind of like this whole movement where everything's becoming smarter. I think I
right.
was just reading about a cup now where it can like read like how much the composition of your liquid, basically. So I mean, it's kind of like everything is becoming smarter.
But it's important because we'll get more use out of our resources or our possessions or whatever. I mean, it seems we'll be smarter about all this stuff if we have that feedback and these sensors. I mean, it seems like, God, why have the heat, at 72 all the time when you're only there 3 hours a day, or when you come in the room,
I
and
know.
it
So it's
knows.
like in like DC, for example, it'll
Uh,
be like freezing cold in the winter time, and you don't
yes,
necessarily want to have like your heater running the entire
right.
day, but you can make sure that it's turned on by the time you
Right.
come home, it's nice and toasty. So,
But the sweetest thing, I mean, people have to go to Sentry, Sentri, .me, because, if you look at the a Kickstarter video, I think the sweetest thing is when the dog, oh, there it is, good. That's a device. But when you had that video where the dog sees you on the Sentry, you're at the office, and the dog can see you, and you see the dog, and the dog's licking the Sentry because they think it's you.
exactly.
I mean, that's phenomenal stuff, and that's why I think it's so important to have people like you around, and your team that put this together. I mean, and it's obviously going to be a hell of a success because if in 48 hours you get $200,000 and you still got 3 more weeks to go, man. Yeah, people ought to get it now because once you're out in the market, man, who knows what this price is going to be, right?
Yeah, so I mean, we're expecting it to retail for 350 plus, and right now you can
Ah,
claim it for 249
yeah.
on
Right. And you throw in steak knives too. All right.
There might be a few like new additions to kind of the product
Right.
that
Right.
will be a surprise.
Well, that's wonderful. So you go to Sentry, SENTRI .me, M-E, and look at the video because that says it all. That's all you have to look at to see how important and really how elegant of a device. I mean, you have something in your room, or whatever, that just looks like an elegant clock or whatever. It's not one of these alarm system people come in and they're going to rearrange your whole bloody house, with all this equipment, charge you thousands of dollars and pretend you're safe when now you could do it for less than $250, right?
Yeah.
Well, wonderful, Wendy. Thank you so much. Thanks for being there. And that's Sentry.me.
No problem. Thank you.
Take
Thanks for
care.
having us. Take care. Bye.